Welcome, welcome. If you've ever wondered if you're dealing with an emotionally unavailable person, you're in for a treat today because I'll be sharing 5 signs you're dating an emotionally unavailable person and what to do about it. So, if you've ever felt frustrated in your dating life, confused, like you weren't sure where you stood in this person's life, I want you to pay close attention because you might be dealing with an emotionally unavailable person. So, in this video, I'll be sharing 5 signs of emotional unavailability, and I'll also provide some action steps to help you address the situation. Now, for those of you that are familiar with my work, welcome back. For those of you that are new to me, welcome again. I am so excited to have you here. My name is Christina. I'm a love and relationship coach, and I help driven and ambitious women attract genuine partners for a loving, lasting relationship. And I'm super excited to connect with you. So I want to invite you to follow, subscribe, turn on the notifications, make sure that we can stay in touch because I have some juicy tidbits to support you in your dating life and in building your relationships. Now, as I mentioned, I've seen countless women that have dealt with emotionally unavailable men. And I have as well. So, in my experience, I've come to identify some key indicators that can help save you wasted time, heartache, confusion, and overall a not good experience, right? So, the first sign that I want to share with you to look out for is for inconsistency. Now, if they're inconsistent with their communication, right? They disappear for days without explanation. You have no idea, right? What's going on, where you stand with them, and their behavior goes from hot to cold. One moment, they're showering you with praise, with compliments, all hot and bothered, and then the next moment they ghost, they go MIA, they're very cold. They might, respond with very brief, short responses, right? Like, okay, yeah, nice, right? That hot and cold behavior, right? And to be honest, they rarely initiate contact. So, if you're dealing with someone who's inconsistent and displays these behaviors, that's the first sign that you're dealing with someone who's emotionally unavailable, right? They're there, but they're not. They're disappear, but they're there. So, keep this in mind when you're trying to decide and recognize, is this person emotionally unavailable? Are they consistent, right? Are they inconsistent? Their inconsistency is a sign. Now, the second one is that they avoid deep and emotional conversations. Now, when it comes to expressing their feelings, they might struggle. They might struggle to share how they feel, what they're thinking. They might seem uncomfortable with being vulnerable and open. And you might often notice that they change the subject when things get serious or where things start getting deep. They will change the subject or, even walk away. So keep this in mind as the second sign that someone is emotionally unavailable is when, right, they're unwilling to open up about their emotions, have conversations, or even express those emotions. Now, the third sign that you want to be mindful of is that they're unwilling to commit, right? They want no commitment, they don't want to define the relationship. And the reality is that many times in women hoping that things will get serious and develop, they will string you along, right? Because they're unwilling to commit. They do not want to have any labels. They want to keep things casual. And many times I see this go on for an extended period of time, right? They don't want to talk about the future. They'll avoid any discussions that have to do with future planning and goals and dreams and the kind of conversations you would want to have, right, with your partner to know if you're aligned and heading in the same direction. They'll avoid. And they'll be, hesitant about letting you meet any friends, any family. They won't be too thrilled about, right, going on like dates with friends and double dates, and they'll be really reluctant to having you build any close bonds to people that they're close to. So keep this in mind when you are, right, being aware of these signs of emotional unavailability. Is this sense of there's no sense of where the relationship is going. Okay, now the fourth sign that you want to keep in mind is they prioritize everything and anything, right, over this supposed relationship that they're building with you, right? They're always busy, it's always work, it's always hobbies, and there's really never any quality time. There's rarely that one-on-one interaction, date night, plan of getting together. It's very sporadic when they show up in your life, right? Going back to the inconsistencies. And they're always seeming to be doing something. They're always busy, like I said, prioritizing other aspects, but they don't prioritize you. They don't prioritize this relationship, right, that you're supposed to be building together. So keep this in mind as you're reflecting on whether someone might be emotionally unavailable. Is, do they include you in their plans? Are you a part of their life, or are you an afterthought and everything in their life comes before you, right? That's the fourth sign that they might be emotionally unavailable. And the fifth, which is very telling, is they have a history of short-term relationships. So when you are getting to know someone and you notice a pattern of brief, very surface connection level relationships, right? Just a couple of months here and there, and you realize that they really have no experience in having a long-term relationship, in being in a long-term partnership. This is a big indicator, right? Because this will show you that they're not hanging around for too long, right? Or something's off, where a long-term relationship isn't viable or hasn't been viable for them. And you'll notice often if they speak also negatively about their past relationships or about their past partners, right? This will be also an indicator of emotional unavailability. So what can you do about it, right? Now that you have these signs that will highlight and will really help you identify if someone is emotionally unavailable. And I'll just kind of go through them again to get the idea, right? They're inconsistent. They avoid any emotional conversations, or they avoid getting too deep. They're, number three, they're unwilling, right, to commit or to define the relationship. Number four, they prioritize everything and any other aspect of their life above the relationship. And five, they have a brief history of short relationships. They have a lot of little relationships, nothing concrete, nothing long-term, nothing too significant, right? So these are 5 signs to kind of give you an idea that a person, for you to recognize that a person is emotionally unavailable. Now, I do want to share what you can do about it, your action steps for handling a situation like that. If this is you now, if you're dating someone and you're unsure where you stand, and one day they're there, the next day they're not, you're always reaching out, they don't really want to plan. If you're in this situation, I want to share with you a couple of things that you can do to help yourself, right? So the first thing is you want to communicate your needs. You want to be clear and direct, and you want to let them know what your boundaries are. And here's the thing about boundaries, right? It's not just for them. Like, these are the rules of, I need communication, but they're for you also, right? They're there to protect you and for you to gauge if someone is actually interested or not. I want you to really focus on your own emotional growth and well-being, and why you would allow or make yourself available, right, to someone who isn't even meeting you halfway. So I want you to reconsider whether this relationship genuinely aligns with your goals, with your values, with your desire for a loving relationship, and to really prepare, right, mentally, emotionally, to walk away if, right, this person, after you communicate your needs, after you share with them, your boundaries and the kind of relationship and the goals that you have for yourself, after you share with them, and if you see that they are not receptive, they are not making any changes, stepping up to the plate, then be prepared to walk away, right? Be prepared to not compromise yourself and not settle for something that is not aligned with what you truly, genuinely want. So those are my tips, my steps to follow to deal with this situation. I know it might be like, right, sometimes you just got to rip off the band-aid and let the wound heal and get some air, and not stifle it and trying to make it something that it's not. But I really hope that these signs and these action steps can really help you recognize and open your eyes to what it looks like for someone to be emotionally unavailable. So let me know in the comments below if this resonates with you, if you've ever experienced dating someone who showcased any of these signs, or if you experienced anyone who had these signs and you just didn't know. So don't forget to share below, comment your story. I'd love to hear more about it. And if you're looking for how to really get clear on the kind of partner, the kind of relationship that you really truly want, then drop me the word blueprint below, and I'll go ahead and share with you my confident attraction blueprint, which will help you gain clarity in the kind of partner and the kind of relationship you're really looking to attract. So once again, I hope that this video was eye-opening, that it was educational, informative, and really supportive of anyone who finds themselves in this situation. And as I always say, remember to choose you, choose love, stay blessed, and I'll see you on the next one.